G2A. A legjobb leárazások egy helyen. De főleg a leírásban.
Mort, you have to give my set pitch another look.
Ramus Rampage again?
Of course not. I'm talking about Pool Party Set pumps you up.
Yeah, let's talk about it later. I gotta go.
So, every game, you'll work out with Set, and he makes you bigger. But you'll also be tasked with various exercises, get supplement tips, and be informed about the benefits of saunas and cold plunges.
It's go time.
Always has been.
Hey tacticians, I'm Liv, the lead of our next set, Cyber City. Cyber City is crawling with different factions, each vying for power, territory, and infamy. If you want a piece of the pie, you'll have to build your crew, expand your turf, and hack your way to the top of this neon metropolis. Are you willing to do whatever it takes? Before you answer that, I'll introduce you to some of the citizens of Cyber City so you know who you're dealing with. Street Demons is the perfect trait to make your mark on the mean streets of Cyber City. Activating Street Demons will tag hexes on your board, powering up the champions that stand inside. You can place any unit in a painted hex, but Street Demons will gain double the stats. There are even signature hexes that grant even more power and provide a touch of artistic flair. With units like 4-cost Brand drop-in paint bombs and 5-cost Samira spray and bullets, these could be the last colors your opponents ever see. Samira's other trait, Amp, upgrades the abilities of Amp units in unique ways. For Samira, each Amp breakpoint increases the number of bullets she shoots. Other examples include making Nidalee's chain lightning attacks chain to more enemies, or letting Yuumi cast faster. While we're on Yuumi, I should mention that the Animal Squad is staking out their turf in Cyber City. While we were grinding Swarm last summer, we realized it was just the type of chaotic fun that would make for a perfect trait. At each breakpoint, you'll get to choose new weapons to add to your arsenal, and they'll fire automatically during combat. Blade Rang enjoyers, we are so back. Anima Squad is a big vertical with squaddies like Vayne, Yuumi, Leona, and the debut of 5-cost Aurora. Aurora swaps spots with a benched unit, who will fight to the death on her behalf. But just because she crosses through the veil doesn't mean she's just watching from the sidelines. While she's on the bench, she'll keep fighting and building mana, and when she casts her ability, she'll teleport to the best spot on the battlefield to hit the most enemies before hopping back. Next up, a trait for the gold hoarders out there. Golden Ox champions have damage amp and a chance to drop gold during combat. But the real kicker is how you reinvest your earnings. If you spend a bunch of gold in a single turn, Golden Ox bonuses permanently increase. But if you want to do it again, you'll need to save up again. You know what they say, sometimes you gotta spend money to make money. Golden Ox's 5-cost Viego dives into big clumps of enemies. But the coolest part about him is that he gets a hologram copy of the strongest enemy he killed last round, items and everything. And for those of you with an even higher risk tolerance, look no further than Cypher. Similar to Heartsteel earning hearts, Cypher champions gather intel by losing combat or killing enemies. The more Cypher champions you enlist, the more intel you get. But here's the catch. You'll only be able to trade your intel for loot once, and you'll only have a couple opportunities to do so. Will your secrets and blackmail give you the upper hand? Or will you stay jacked in too long and get burned? Hold on, I gotta take this. Yeah. No.
What do you mean Shaco's a one cost?
We agreed he'd be at least a 12
Over here.
cost, if not
Don't worry,
13.
I got the rest. Riot Blue Cove here. Great news. They finally freed me from that magical library. I'm sure it was an accident. Anyways, with our syndicate trait, you're the boss. You get to decide how your organization runs. The trait gives you a Kingpin hat that upgrades a syndicate champion's ability. For instance, Twisted Fate normally throws cards, but make him the Kingpin and he'll throw enhanced cards that deal more damage, give him back mana, or even drop gold. Shaco is a one cost that permanently gains attack damage on kill. Hat this clown, and he'll teleport behind the weakest enemy, making sure he's always there for the final blow. At 5 Syndicate, you get to pick another Kingpin, allowing you to make 2 carry Kingpins, 2 tank Kingpins, or one of each. If you get to 7, your Kingpin's abilities upgrade again and grant an additional benefit. If you want even more boss mode, we've got a whole trait of cyber bosses, including Poppy, Vigar, and Ziggs. Plus, I had to bring a friend along from Inkborn Fables, Kobuko. He's the bossiest of all. And this isn't even their final form. That's better. When they level up, they'll get bigger, and their abilities will hit a larger area. Kobuko's the 5 cost, and his 2-part ability knocks up and stuns nearby enemies, then slams them into the ground. Ouch. If his health gets low enough, his much-feared secondary health bar will appear, this time as a shield that upgrades the size of his ability for the rest of combat. Do I hear boss music? All right, let me introduce you to a couple 5 costs. Renekton is the legendary unit for the Divinicore vertical, the benevolent corporation that grants everyone allied to the corporation benefits depending on the Divinicore executives that are fielded. Divinicore's interests are your best interests. As Divinicore's overlord, Renekton will trade access to clean water and public infrastructure for personal gain. I'm kidding. That'd be horrific. He just butchers an ally behind him, gaining a percentage of their health and attack damage. We're also bringing 2 threat-like 5 costs to make your late-game boards extra flexible. Garen will help you weave together trait combos like a god of the trait web, or as we like to call him, god of the net. After fielding Garen, he'll pop up an armory of trait mods that can reprogram units in your army to benefit from another trait, but not contribute to it. Field him for long enough, and you could theoretically reprogram your entire army. You can have as many trait mods as you have units, but every time you pick one, the number of rounds you have to wait will increase by 1. He's also a flexible tank that can slow down your opponent by dropping the banhammer. For Demacia, or whatever trait mods you get. The other threat-esque 5 cost is the malware extraordinaire Zac. If you field this virus, he infects your shop with pop-ups, or as he likes to call them, bloblets, granting Zac extra max health. As he bounces on nearby enemies, he'll stun them and deal damage. But just like that USB you found in the parking lot, Zac's the type of malware that's hard to get rid of. Whittle down his HP enough and he'll split into 2 healthier copies. Okay, this next one you won't want to miss. What the heck?
I'm in. Oh, hey folks. I'm Matt, the designer behind Hex, the set mechanic for Cyber City. Hacks have infiltrated core TFT systems, like opening encounters, shops, orbs, carousels, and even augments. Just about everything. They'll alter your game in any number of ways, at any time. Don't worry, these hackers are on our side. All right, let's cover some examples. One of my favorites is an augment hack that presents you with a choice. 1 stronger augment or 2 weaker ones. Is a strong augment powerful enough to pass on the synergy the lesser augments can provide? You'll just have to make that decision for yourself. Another augment hack could permanently alter one of your slots to grant one specific type of augment, whether that be item-focused, econ, trait-linked, chaotic, or my favorite, black market augments. These are augments from past sets that have been vaulted, things like Cursed Crown, Everything Must Go, and even Think Fast. As I mentioned earlier, opening encounters can be hacked too. Maybe your opener will add the occasional lucky shops to appear with tailored units to fit your comp. Another shop-related hack could cause 2-star champs to appear instead of 1-stars as you roll. These wouldn't be hacks if we didn't have a few callbacks to the glitched carousels from Monsters Attack. We're talking carousels with extra items or anvils. There are way more hacks to encounter in Cyber City, and to all appear to everyone in the lobby at equal rates because, as I mentioned, these are benevolent hackers, just spreading happy little accidents. All right, I'll patch you into the Singapore team to tell you about cosmetics.
Wow, how do we follow that? She just shot that poor river sprite through a building.
I'm not sure, but we'll have to try. Hi everyone, Tommy and I are back with a snapshot of the cosmetics coming with Cyber City's release patch, and a little bit beyond.
Like you just saw, we're introducing Project Vane Unbound for Cyber City.
She'll release alongside our most futuristic arena yet, Project Edgefall, which will take you on an endless elevator ride from the tip-tops of skyscrapers to the depths of Cyber City.
And if perma-descent is not your direction of choice, you can always click this interactable to stop your drop and lock in for a roll down.
Sometimes, you just gotta lock in. And nobody knows that better than Chibi Forecast Jana, who is currently live in the Convergence. And she didn't spend 5 years studying journalism for you to go A. We're adding Chibi Forecast Jana with our release patch to brighten up your balls with a high chance of high rolls. So let those low rolls be lost in time, like tears in rain.
After that, just one patch into Cyber City, we'll be adding the set's Prestige Chibi Technician. All I can say now is that it's going to be Yone, and it will be inspired by both the Dawnbringer and Nightbringer thematic.
All right, before we pass it up to the Double Up team for an exciting update, we want to share one more thing that's been swirling in our minds.
With the launch of Cyber City, you'll be able to customize your portal alongside your arena, boom, and tactician. We'll have deeply thematic portals like this project-inspired one, or this one that's certain to blow you away. We'll also have some that are more subtle.
Portals are a form of personalization we've worked on for a long time. I mean, they're what our tacticians use to travel throughout the Convergence, right?
We'll have more information on which are being released and how they'll be obtained closer to the set's launch. All right, shall we play a game of Double Up?
Hey Tacticians, Mort here with a Double Up update for Cyber City. I've got Christy Lee, who's leading the charge for UX on Double Up, here to join me.
Happy to be back, and even happier to announce that Double Up is officially graduating from Workshop and entering a new and improved era as an evergreen mode in TFT.
Since we announced Double Up lobbies during the Macau Open, we won't dive too deep into them here. But in case you missed it, the new lobby system will allow you to queue for Double Up with up to 7 of your friends.
There will be no restrictions for who you can partner with based on rank. But for our hardcore challenger level players, we'll have some small adjustments that protect the competitive spirit at the top of the ladder. But let's discuss the changes we're making on the gameplay side, starting with the Teamwork Cannon, which is powered entirely by friendship.
The Teamwork Cannon is replacing the Rune of Allegiance to be Double Up's new way to send champions to your teammate. And now, you'll be able to trade items too.
Which you can do at any time in planning or combat.
Yep. It'll remain on your bench for your convenience. Once you send something, it'll go on cooldown for a few combat rounds.
We're also updating GIF armories. GIFs are free again, and we're implementing some clarity and visual improvements such as team colors, updated lobby screens, and more that should make you feel more like a team.
And this is just the beginning. Double Up has become an essential part of TFT, and we're committed to giving it the time and attention it deserves. Synergy! Thanks for tuning in for our Double Up update. Next up, esports.
Double Up updates? Interesting. Something for all pros to consider. I'm Max, and I'm here to share upcoming additions to our TFT competitive ecosystem. Starting with the next set, Set 15. Word on the street, it's some sort of fighting tournament. TFT Esports will introduce a new tier of competition. This tournament series will be the arena for the best of the absolute best in TFT Esports within their region. We are still hammering out the details, but the idea is that the top players of each region will get a spot to compete in their respective tournament series. This will be an additional independent level of competition, which will run in parallel to our beloved Tactician Cups, and both will directly qualify players for their regional Golden Battlers. Performing well at the Golden Battler will earn you a spot in the tournament series for the next set. This means that TFT top players can focus their efforts, hone their skills even more, and feel rewarded for being at the top of their game. Players will be able to qualify for the first tournament roster through their performance across Cyber City competitive season. We really hope this change will create a more stable pro scene, a better tournament experience for players, a better fan experience, and more exciting high-stakes play. Can't wait to see what you think. More information on the tournament format and details will be shared in the coming months. We've come a long way since the start of TFT Esports, and we want to make sure we keep developing our ecosystem in line with the growing range of skill levels we see. But the core promise of TFT Esports remains. Anyone, from anywhere, can come out of the woodwork and reach for the crown or belt.
Kobuko, aki legendary lesz, és területi CC-je van. Zeri, aki vízhangokat hagy maga után. És Alice, aki lézerezik. Itt vannak a boombotok, gondolom annyira nem igazán kell őket bemutatni. Minden irányba robbansz, kivégzel, amit akarsz. Amúgy nagyon-nagyon régóta vártuk már ugye, hogy ezekből legyen egy ilyen szinergia. Végre megkaptuk. Na itt van a Garen, akivel át lehet programozni majd egységeket. Tehát Garennak önmagában ugye van egy banhammerje, azon kívül meg tudsz Garennak hála olyat is csinálni, hogy más szinergiákat megadni bizonyos egységeknek, tehát úgymond átprogramozni őket. Itt vannak a kiberdémonok, a világító hexek még bónusz statokat adnak az adott kiberdémon egységeknek. Figyeljétek Samirát bal alul. Ő folyamatosan tud erősödni. Az erősség abban merül ki, hogy amikor úgymond így kikasztol, akkor annál több ilyen projektált fog szétlőni. Ez is egy érdekes elgondolás. Nézzük a Divine Corpot, egy természetesen abszolút nem korrupt cég, meg csak is a jót akarják, ugye. Jönnek a Golden Oxok, akik ugye az adott gold alapján tudnak erősödni, hogy minél többet pumpálsz bele a játékba. Jobb alul láthatod a kis fát, ami ugye ennek az indikátorja. Körönként tudsz ugye rajtuk erősíteni. 2 csillagos egységek előfordulhatnak a shopban. Hát azt hiszem, hogy ebben az Encounterben rerollolni kell, ugyebár, látod alul, ott van az indikátor. Majd lesz itt egy hackelt augment, ahol tudsz vagy egy goldot, vagy 2 silvert választani. Renekton egy legahős lesz, aki úgymond az előző setből a Hunger for Power anomáliával dolgozik, tehát be tudsz neki etetni egységet, és aztán úgymond csak darál. Viego úgy szintén egy lega lesz, simán berobban. Na de mi a plusz képessége? Bal alul, amit láttok hőst, a top damage karaktert ellopja az enemitől itemekkel együtt. Jön a Cypher, úgymond a cash out trait, ez lesz majd igazából. Minél többet úgymond beadogatsz oda, amit balról látsz. Annyi különbség lesz vele, hogy itt egyetlen egyszer lehet cash outolni. Eléggé veszélyes, hogy mikor teszed azt, mert különbözőféle lootok lehetnek benne. Visszatérnek a syndicate-ek, látod, egy ilyen kis kalapot tudsz adni az egységeknek. Most jelenleg Shaco van, és Shaco ezzel bónusz képességre tesz szert, tehát scale-elő AD-ja lesz tőle. Zack egy lega unit lesz, akit úgy tudsz fejleszteni, hogy rengetegszer tudod megvenni ugye a shopból. Szinte úgymond nem tudod 3-sztározni, de tudod 3-sztározni. Ugyanis minél több blobot veszel neki a shopból, ami random fordulhat elő, annál több HP-ja lesz. És aztán, amit látod, vannak itt thresholdok, hogy hányba fognak szétosztani. Majd pedig jön egy újabb Unbound lusta skin, jelen esetben most ez a Vayne. Hát nekem annyira ezek sosem jöttek be, de tegyük fel, hogy ehhez illik legalább. Hanem ami engem jobban érdekel, és mindjárt majd mutatom, az aréna, amin játszik. Megjönnek a portál animációk is. És csak, most már ilyenekbe fogunk utazni. És hát itt van a pálya. amit meg akartam mutatni. Na ez azért tetszik rendesen. Jó kis Icon robotok, valamint itt van neki a másik verziója, ugye level 7 után. Szerintem nagyon clean lett.